Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everyone's well. It's your boy M.K.S. Back in another video. Hopefully you enjoy it, as I always say. Yeah, so yesterday I didn't make any videos, so hopefully someone out there missed me. I know I make quite a lot of videos, but and I probably would make them all day if I could. But yeah, anyway, so the weather was. I know I always give an update about the weather, but the weather was really miserable this morning, so I didn't even. I wasn't going out anywhere, so I didn't book. I'm still in like my pajamas now, and it's nearly 4:30, so I'm doing terrible in that way. But anyway, at least the blue skies come out a little bit. So I say, hope everyone's well, and I thought I'd talk about some of my goals or ambitions, aspirations, and things like that in September, as I was talking about before on Tuesday. But anyway, so as I talked about before, I like to do certain things on certain days. So today, because it's a Thursday, I'm hoping to talk about today's date being the 3rd of September. On a Thursday, I thought I'd talk about some of my goals and dreams and aspirations and that sort of thing, and like how I'd love to listen to Indigenous people from America and their goals and aspirations and things like that. So anywho, sorry for waffling. So this is another one of my list videos. So I'm going to talk about some of my thoughts about empowering Native Americans. So here goes. So number one, again, I'd love to listen to Indigenous people from the Americas about their goals and bring together Indigenous people from all over the Americas and also friends of the Indigenous people. So people around the world who support Indigenous people, to support, like to encourage them to support them. And as I've talked about before, just to remind people, in case anyone didn't watch my previous videos, I dream to or hope to bring together Indigenous people from all over the Americas: Argentina, Brazil, Peru, Chile, Paraguay, Uruguay, America itself, Canada, Mexico, and so on and so forth. Pretty much all of the Americas, and possibly find some facts about the Americas, like how many countries there are in the Americas, like South America, North America, and that sort of thing. But yeah, bringing people together from those groups to like sort of network together. Number two, I'd love to support like Indigenous people to become politicians. And young people to learn about politics, young Indigenous people to learn about politics, so they can be politically empowered and like create their own lobby groups and things like that. Number three, I'd love for like Indigenous people from the Americas to support Africa in technology, so like they can have some sort of support for each other, like Indigenous Africans supporting Indigenous people from the Americas and vice versa, like looking at how they can support each other in those areas like STEM and things like that. Number four, again, I'd definitely love to support Indigenous people from the Americas to have like their own voice, their own lobby group, and I'd love to hear from Indigenous people from the Americas, like what their goals are, aspirations, and what their political opinions are, and like encourage them to have their own lobby group and things like that. Number five, I'd love to see like 10% of the political class being Indigenous people, and also Indigenous people to have representation at the UN and international bodies like that, so they can talk about their environmental rights, their land rights, and have these goals about like, or dreams if you like. Some people might say they're pipe dreams, but I'd love to see Indigenous people from the Americas like own 10% of their wealth, property, and land of their countries where they originate from, and also like to be 10% of the political class, or have 10% of the senators or politicians. And I'd even love to see like a Native American or Indigenous people from the Americas like becoming presidents, or at least have their own leaders and councils where they can lead, even in countries like Brazil and Argentina and places like that, and that sort of thing. And as I say, 10% of the property, wealth, and land ownership of the Americas to belong to Indigenous people, or things like that. And again, like to encourage people to work together, and people to like friends of the Indigenous people to support them, that sort of thing. I think that was point number five, lost count. But number six, as I've mentioned before, I'd still love to now and then talk about my football dreams, like, or goals or ideas and things like going to Italy and sharing my goals, and how I hope Italian football clubs will become the most successful, and my dreams about Celtic and things like that. And number seven, again, like supporting Indigenous peoples politically, and I'd love to hear what rights people think Indigenous people should have. So yeah, I'd love to hear what rights people think Indigenous people should have, like in terms of human rights and freedoms and things like that. Number eight, again, like friends of the indigenous people, like talking about how they can support them and help them to raise their voices and that sort of thing. Number 9, as I talked about before, I'd love to support indigenous people from the Americas in writing, support their existing writing and support or writers, and support more people to become writers, artists, poets, and things like that. And number 10, again, helping the youth to become politicians and to learn about politics and be empowered and lobby together, and also look to how they can be empowered in the future. And also, again, like, I'd love to hear your opinions on these things. Like, do you think that my dream is like a bit of a pipe dream, or do you think it's realistic, or do you think that they should have like 10% of the political class, 10% of the politicians, senators, land, wealth, and property, and things like that? And if I went to America, I'd love to also the Americas, anywhere in the Americas, I'd love to like support. In Australia, they have like their own Aboriginal centres, so I'd love America to have similar things for the Native Americans. But I'd love to visit reservations and talk about how I can support them, and also like encourage them and support them to have their own tourism industries and things like that, so they can financially benefit from their own hotels and motels and whatever other things that could be could help them financially in terms of like tourism, running their own tourism industries. So anyway, as ever, I'd love to hear what you think. Hopefully I wasn't waffling too much, and I'm out. Peace out.